Don't fix it if it ain't broken feels like the defining motto around the Lexus GX SUV. To put things in perspective, in the 19 years after the first one launched, we saw more all-new Popes than all-new GX SUVs. So when the brand announced the all-new 2024 Lexus GX 550, it felt like a special occasion. This right-sized body-on-frame SUV has attracted legions of off-road fans for years, and now that we're seeing the new vehicle, it seems like Lexus finally has received the memo and pulled the GX out from the Land Cruiser's LX's shadows. By leaning into its heritage, this new SUV is likely to thrill existing GX fans and win over owners of a certain British SUV mark, particularly ones who feel cast aside by that brand's current product line. After all, the GX 550 doesn't just feature similar full-frame construction as the dearly departed LR4. It leans into rugged, blocky looks, while the current Discovery went a bit blobby. What are the odds that Land Rover is having a really bad day right now? God, this thing looks good. Around back, owners of current GX models will likely be thrilled to see the change from a swing-out tailgate to a standard power liftgate. Not only was the old setup heavy, it also swung the wrong way for street parking in left-hand drive countries. While a liftgate may present a problem in constricted spaces, Lexus has thought of this by including separately opening rear glass that requires less space to swing up than a full tailgate. It's perfect for loading and unloading small items, and it includes a convenient handle in the rear wiper arm bezel. Clearance approved. The new Lexus GX is 3.74 inches to 4.52 inches wider than the outgoing model and rides on a 2.36-inch longer wheelbase, thanks in part to the same TNGAF body-on-frame platform that also underpins the LX 600. Despite boasting an extra 2.75 inches in overall length over the outgoing model, front overhang has been reduced by 0.78 inches for the sake of ride height. Although Lexus doesn't list ground clearance, the new GX carries approach, brake cover, and departure angles of 26 degrees, 23 degrees, and 23 degrees in its base form. Off-road focused over-trail trims increase breakover angle to 24 degrees, but cut departure angle to 22 degrees, while luxury trims cut departure angle to 21 degrees. Inner sanctum. Moving to the cockpit of the new GX, Lexus seems to have prioritized ease of use with this interior. The driver controls the gearbox through a conventional shifter. There's a huge button for the exterior camera system to better assess terrain. The glove box door uses a conventional release, and I don't spy a capacitive touch button anywhere. It adds up to a cabin that won't alienate Lexus traditionalists, but still takes things into the 2020s with recent tech and artful design. Standard is a 14-inch touchscreen infotainment system running Lexus' latest software paired with a 10-speaker sound system. Although a 21-speaker Mark Levinson sound system is available, and it promises to bump, prior Lexus experience suggests that you want to go for the Mark Levinson system, as it's typically a considerable upgrade over the base sound system. Sure, you could keep things cheap and cheerful, but don't say I didn't warn you. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are also both standard, as is a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster for all your virtual instrumentation needs. Of course, being a Lexus, you can load the new GX up to the gills. Heated and ventilated front seats are standard, heated second-row seats are optional, and the second-row bench can be replaced by captain's chairs if you tick the right option box. If the thought of having to drop the third row manually seems exhausting, the way back can be motorized for convenience, and you customers can spec a digital key option to unlock the GX using their phones. You can even option the GX with a little mini fridge for all your adventuring needs, although it's yet to be seen which trim levels will carry that option. As for general interior design, it's aesthetically rugged, yet refined at the same time. The upright dashboard with its relatively flat top offers a hit of nostalgia, but details like the wood-inlaid foam holster and satin metallic trim are lovely enough for discerning luxury shoppers to appreciate. Although stitched materials feature heavily on the console and door cards, Lexus doesn't seem shy to use tightly grained plastics on the dashboard to bring out a sense of ruggedness. In an overlanding favorite like this, I'm okay with well-used plastics as they're easy to clean and require minimal maintenance compared to leather or textile. consider it built to last. Stock lockers and 2 meaty turbos. Power in the new Lexus GX comes from the V35 AFTS 3.4-liter twin-turbocharged V6 out of the Toyota Tundra. This force-fed 6 is good for 349 horsepower and 479 pound-foot of torque, a handy boost over the outgoing model. If that's not quite right for you, Lexus Pinky promises that a hybrid variant is coming down the line. Every Lexus GX 550 comes with a 10-speed automatic gearbox and full-time 4-wheel drive with a locking torsion center differential. But the Overtrail and Overtrail Plus trims get an electronically locking rear differential for added traction in slippery conditions. Those Overtrail trims also get 33-inch all-terrain tires, which are certifiably bitchin'. Look, I don't make the rules, but luxury SUVs on all-terrain tires are just cooler than those that aren't. The Overtrail trims also get promising off-road assist systems, including various terrain modes, hill descent control, terrain monitoring, and Lexus' clever kinetic dynamic suspension system that can effectively disengage the anti-roll bars under severe wheel travel to give you extra articulation when you need it most. Speaking of rear suspension, Lexus doesn't mention whether the GX uses a live axle or independent rear suspension, but zooming in on a high-res press shot appears to show a coil-sprung solid rear axle. It all adds up to some intriguing capability. Terrific towing. Speaking of capability, let's talk towing capacity. The new Lexus GX can pull a strong 8,000 pounds on Premium, Premium Plus, Overtrail, and Overtrail Plus trims. The new GX finally looks cool enough to justify the price tag. The GX has always been one of my favorite Lexus vehicles, but it always stood in the Land Cruiser's shadows and seemed a bit compromised for its underpinnings. Its body-on-frame packaging repelled those looking for a car-like driving experience, but a low-hanging front fascia on the outgoing model limited stock off-road clearance. The new Lexus GX 550, though, has more power, practicality, and capability than ever before. More importantly, it looks incredible and is now firmly out the LX's shadows. It's only a matter of time before we start seeing these things out on the trails. Expect pricing to be released closer to January of 2024, when the first examples complete the long trip from Japan to showrooms across America. Ladies and gentlemen, what we've explored here today is not just a car. It's a masterpiece of engineering and design. The 2024 Lexus GX 550 redefines luxury, performance, and innovation in ways that will leave you breathless. Whether you're behind the wheel or relaxing in the backseat, this SUV transforms every journey into an unforgettable experience. So, are you ready to elevate your driving game? I know I am. Thanks for joining me on this exhilarating ride. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more automotive adventures.